Yes, what is the data model? Data model describes our data. Relationship between two tables. Not only two tables, we might have multiple sources of data. So it describes about the relation between the data, how our data is organized. So what was the last example we have seen, guys? The last example that we have seen is multiple products. Because in retail store, whenever we walk in, we will purchase multiple items collectively as a single transaction. Okay. So that time, what was the reference that we have taken to relate these two sources? Invoice number was the source that we have taken, right? So now today, we'll discuss about what was the relation type is that we have seen earlier.
One to many.
One order can contain multiple products. So in the header details, we are having only one single entry that is containing invoice information like invoice number, invoice date, and customer information. And when it comes to lines information, there we is able to see my screen.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Invoice number, invoice date, customer information.
Sir, on the class one.
Right, customer name. Sure. Content. Directly from our last session. I have connected from a different laptop today. Because I'm not having that source with me. So now I'm at source.
Hello, boss. Hi, Suman.
Hi.
I'm new joiner today.
Hi, welcome. All the best.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
See guys, this was the last example that we have considered to prepare a sample. So where header information containing invoice number wise customer information. This is invoice number, invoice date, customer information like customer name, address, email, mobile number and his location. Okay. And in the similar way, this invoice can contain multiple products purchased. Okay. So under this invoice number INV1, we are having these many products purchased through the transaction. Okay. Clear guys? So I hope everyone is clear with this example. So I have given color coding as well here. This way. You can correlate invoice wise, invoice header wise, what are the lines information. Lines nothing but products. Okay. So what kind of relation here guys? Above is header table, below is sales, lines table. What kind of relation that we are having here? We are having different relationships like one to one, one to many, many to one, many to many. Now here, what kind of relationship that these two sources are having? Okay, one to many, correct. So how we are saying one to many?
Because it is from header to line.
Perfect. From header to lines information, a single occurrence of invoice number from header can contain multi occurrences. That is more than one. That is many occurrences in lines table. Got it, guys? A single occurrence of invoice number in header table containing multi occurrences. Single occurrence of invoice number in header table containing multi occurrences in lines table. That is called a single occurrence nothing but one, multi nothing but many. One to many. Invoice number 1 here money. Invoice number 3 1 to many. This way. Okay. Now here, if I remove this direction, otherwise I'll do this. This is one to many, you are saying, very good. Header to lines is one to many. Perfect. What if I ask the reverse way? What is this? Yes, what kind of relationship this is? The second one, from lines to header.
Many to one and
Perfect. Many to one. Many occurrences of invoice number in lines table will have a single occurrence in header table. A single occurrence. Many to one. That's all. One to many to one, both are same. Only the direction that we look at the data model is different. Clear, guys? Now tell me, what is the definition of one to many or many to one, guys? What is the definition of one to many or many to one? Let's suppose if I ask someone one to many, whatever understanding we have with respect to our data or with respect to our data sessions, that we speak out there. So no need to use heavy technical terminology, DB terminology. That is, those things not at all required. Is whatever real learning we made through our sessions, that you need to speak out. That's all. In very layman language, or very general language, no need to include all technical terms. What we are simply saying, one to many. One occurrence in one table or in one source will have multi-occurrences, more than one occurrences. That's all. Clear, guys? Guys, if someone asks you what is one to many or many to one relationship, then you should be able to answer that query with your understanding, not through some definition that we get from a book or some Google source. Okay, remember that. Interviewers know everything. Sometimes they can evaluate like, okay, by hearing our answer, they will be able to evaluate ourselves like what kind of knowledge that we possess. Okay. Guess, can I assume like everyone's here with this one to many and many to one relationship understanding?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. So now I'll go with a different source. I'll take a different source.
So can you please repeat that?
Sure. One to many or many to one.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So here what we have taken a real-time example of a retail store transaction. So whenever we go and purchase few items in any retail store, so at the counter we will be getting a invoice, some bill, right? So the bill contains like invoice information on what date it got billed and what is the total amount. Apart from that, we will be having all the items included in that single bill. Correct? We will not get a separate bill for each item that we purchase. We will get a collective single bill for all the items that we purchase as a transaction in any retail store or in any supermarket. Right? So we have taken the same example, and here we have segregated that data because earlier we used to maintain this information, product information, as part of this one single source. Let's suppose I'll take out this data in separate source here, spreadsheet. Let's suppose if I do not segregate my data, so all these products are related to invoice one. We'll copy these products and paste them here. So I'll remove these two. I'll paste them to something else at the bottom. So here, if you look at this data, all these first 5 lines are talking about a transaction which is having invoice number 1. Okay. So here, can you tell me like which data on it, sir?
Oh,
So, one to one is fine, but what information is getting repeated? This invoice date, customer related information is unnecessarily repeating for each of the product that is part of our bill, right? Yes, unnecessarily repeating, right? So this consumes space as well as memory also. So it consumes memory, and when we import such duplicated data into Power BI, it requires some processing time also. Our process will read each row and duplicated data, and it will allocate space in the backend and it will store the data. So all this processing and memory related things unnecessarily consumed, and it is not a correct way to maintain our data also. Okay. we have to segregate or we have to organize our data in a proper manner so that there is no redundancy maintained with our data. So to avoid, see, let's suppose I'll form entire model here. So without so that will not get clarity. So we are having 3 invoices like this. And invoice 2 containing these many items. And this particular information, which is per header, like per transaction, it will have only one single occurrence. Invoice number will be only one value. Invoice date will be only one value for any transaction. Customer name, location, or his email, mobile number. All these things will be having only one instance, like one single occurrence for a single bill. But whereas products can be multiple, more than one, right? That's a real-time example. I mean, that's a real-time scenario that everyone went through. I mean, by now, everyone having such experience already. Okay. So now, what I'll do, product invoice 3 related information also I'll add here. I'm taking examples of only 3 invoices. Let's suppose it is a case of a DMart store, which is located across different locations in a single city and also spread out like across different cities in the country. Let's suppose DMart is having around some 150 to 200 stores operating across country. If they maintain their transaction data in this manner by duplicating customer information or invoice number like this. So let's imagine they will be having around some 2,000 to 3,000 sale transactions happening at the counter on every day and daily basis in each individual store. Okay. So based on considering the volume of data, if they are having their data model in this manner, then let's imagine like unnecessarily how much of space as well as processing time is getting allocated to handle this redundant data. Okay. So we have just taken an example of 3 invoices. Okay. We just taken example of only 3 invoices to show you how to organize our data properly. That is called as data modeling. We know how data is coming, how business data is coming. So this business data is talking about sale information. So this sale information can properly organize in such a way that redundancy can be removed. And after organizing our data, we must be able to correlate our data. Like whenever I talk about any product, then I should be in a position to tell like, okay, this product is part of this invoice. This way. So that's why what we did, we have removed all the redundant data from each invoice number this way. And we have segregated only the single occurring data into a separate source this way. 3 different invoices with a single occurring data this way. And the products which are getting repeated, those products are maintained in a separate table this way. And those are linked with the invoice number in that source. Now, whenever I talk about my sale information, I have to relate both header table and lines table. Why I am calling it this one header? Header will contain only single entry for each invoice, whereas lines table contain multiple entries for each invoice based on number of products purchased through that particular invoice. Now, whenever I look my data from header to child, like header to lines, so in header I am having single occurrence. In header I am having single occurrence. In lines I am having, for the same invoice number I am having how many occurrences? Multi occurrences. When I look my data from lines to header, I am having multi occurrences in lines table. When I go upward, it will have only single occurrence in header. So single to multi, the direction see here, this is single to multi. And it is multi to single. Nothing but many to one, one to many. This is called as many to one, whereas it is called as one to many. Clear?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Clear, yes? Now, we'll go with a different example. So guys, we'll take an example of college database where we'll be having students. Okay. I can can say roll number, the student name, and student address, email, mobile, and this branch is study. I can say which year as a first year, second year, like that. No, I'll start prior to my roll number from 1001 and say ABC. Studying first year. Rank, let's suppose I'll maintain CSC. Address I'll say hardware. Email ABC at the gmail.com. Boom. Some number like this. Now see here, guys. So guys, at a given time, like at any given time, the beta guy is allowed to study in how many branches?
Only one, Anna.
Only one branch, right? Either he is part of CSC branch, EC branch, or EEE branch, something like that, right? So at any given time, he is not part of multiple branches. Not allowed. I mean, arts curriculum, like our education system, will not allow support that, right? So instead of branch names can vary. Like in future, they can maintain a CSC instead of CSC. They may maintain descriptive branch information. So to avoid updating our branch information in the student table whenever branch name change, we will maintain a reference instead of actual description. So this is student table, let's suppose. So instead of branch names, what I'll do, branch ID I'll maintain here, branch name. So here what I'll say, branch ID is like this. I'll say branch name as ESC, ECE, civils. What other branches, guys? Civil engineering, mechanical. So this way I'm having one more source. Now tell me guys, in the branch column, what I have to update? Instead of CSC,
One, Anna.
1. Because for CSC, what is the branch ID? 1. For EEE, guys?
2.
For EEE?
2, 1. 1.
This following, right? You are able to correlate, right? The people who attended SQL classes are able to understand clearly. But other people also, it is not a blocker for you. It's a general discussion. Yeah. For CSC, again 1. For EC, guys?
3, Anna.
For civils?
4.
There is no student with mechanical branch in our college. That's all. Clear? This way, we have maintained our data. Now tell me, these are two different tables, two different sources for us in terms of data. What I'll say, student table and branch table. Okay. So now, how these two tables are related? Tell me, guys.
By
How
using
these two
Through branch ID.
Based on branch ID, these two tables are related. So by looking at branch ID, we'll go to branch ID, respect to branch ID in the branch source, and we'll come to know, okay, CSC is a branch for this ABC camp. So this is linkage. Now tell me, when I look my data from student to branch, what kind of relationship it is having? One to many, many to one, many to many, one to one.
One to many. Yeah, one primary key, one parent.
From branch to, so from student table to branch table, what is the relation? What kind of
One
relation?
to many. One to many.
Single occurrence or
Branch to branch ID, many to one.
many to one?
Yes. Branch ID to branch, one to many.
Clear, I guess that I wanted to make you people understand, like not only with the sales information, we will have other real-time scenarios where we can have one to many, many to one scenarios. So yes, understanding data is important here. The features of Power BI are very simple, or as simple as Excel to learn. Okay. But understanding the data and the relation, these things are important here. So when it comes this way, we'll have multi-occurrences of branch ID in student table, and we'll have only one occurrence in branch table. Student table to branch. Yeah. And in the reverse way, from branch to student, guess what kind of relationship it is?
One to many.
In the branch, we'll have only one occurrence of branch information. That branch can have multi occurrences in student table because under one branch we can have multiple students. So when we look from student to branch, it is many to one. When we look from branch to student, it is one to many. That's all, guys. Clear, guys, with one to many? Many to one? Yes, clear, everyone? Do you need any other time, other real-time scenario?
Sir, one second explain, sir.
Yeah, it is very simple. In any college, under one branch, we will have multiple students. In civil, under CSC branch, we are having two students, ABC, DEF, and these two students are having same branch. But in branch table, we will be having only one entry for that particular branch with the description part, CSC. Okay. So in student table, branch can repeat for multiple students because we can have multiple students under the same branch. So that's why what we are saying in the student table, branch information can be, these two tables are related on branch ID. That is first thing. Two tables are related on branch ID, and student table can contain multiple branch entries. Let's suppose if you take one single entry like one, it can have multiple occurrences in student table, whereas in branch table it can have only single occurrence. And opposite vice versa. In branch table we'll have a single entry for a branch, and that particular branch ID can be repeated multiple times. That means we can have multi occurrences in student table, which is one to many in this direction. Clear?
Clear, sir. Thank you, sir.
So now, guys, do you need a? Okay, let's suppose do one thing. I'll create this line. This is student and branch, whereas also one to many. So these two are examples of one to many. One to many, many to one. Now tell me guys, definition of one to many or many to one. These are key values we say guys. Say what is the key value here in case of retail store example guys?
One
Invite.
occurrence in sales header.
Key
Multiple occurrence in client.
is true. But what is the key value I'm saying? On what basis we are calling this? We are able to understand the occurrence.
Invoice number anna.
Invoice number is the key column, key value. So when I say one to many, we'll have one key value occurrence. We'll have one key value occurrence multiple times other source. When it comes to many to one, we'll have multi occurrences of key value. We'll have multi key occurrence. In one source. A single occurrence. Other source. And these two sources are related on the basis of key value. Remember this. Many to one to many, both are same guys. The way we look at our data, only the direction changes. We'll have one key value occurrence, multiple times another source. And these sources are related on the basis of key value. Remember this statement, guys. Day7, I believe, right? Oops. Let's try to import this data in Power BI, guys, and see how Power BI can understand by looking at this data. Deleting all these things. In my data here, I'm cleaning. Okay. So, right getting saved, guys. Okay. Down this folder. So I'm going to Power BI. Now, how many ways I have, guys, to import a file in Power BI desktop?
Two types, sir. One is
Those?
get data,
Mhm.
another one is transform data.
I'm going to transform data option. So, guys, how Power BI can detect our relation between the data? I have showed you the setting, auto detection settings. I'm saying I'm going to download folder. I'm choosing retail store example. It will open me a navigator window, where in the navigator window I can have all the sheets displayed. I'll simply select all the sheets. Okay. All the sheets data I have selected. Sales data. Okay, I think we haven't removed this thing. We are still having our data in a single sheet. No, I have segregated this and Power BI suggesting this thing. No, I'll cancel. I have saved my data outside. Now I'm again re-importing the same file. Now I'll be shown with all 4 sheets. I'm selecting all 4 sheets and clicking on OK. Now see guys, whether sales information and student information are having any relation, guys. Sales header, this is my data. Sales lines, this is my data. Student information and branch information, everything loaded. I'll simply close and apply. After doing close and apply, I'll have my Power Pivot loaded with all the data available from all the 4 sheets. Okay. Now let's see. 5 rows, 3 rows, 5 rows updated. I'm going to my data view. In the data view, I'm seeing 4 sheets and all the data. As soon as I select my data, right side, this way, I'll be able to see my data left side. I'm going to model view. In the model view, see guys, in the model view, there is a relation formed between branch and student table, and there is a relation formed between sales header and sales lines. How many sheets of data we have imported? 4 sheets of data.
4 6, sir.
4 sheets. As soon as we import 4 sheets of data into Power BI desktop, Power BI able to auto detect the relation between each 2 of them. It is saying from branch to student, it is 1 to star. That is 1 to many. As soon as I select that relation, which column is getting highlighted in both branch and student tables, guys? See, notice carefully.
Branch ana.
As soon as I
Branch table.
branch. Even though name of the column is different, in branch table I'm maintaining as branch ID. In student table I'm just mentioning as branch. But Power BI is intelligent enough to go through the data also in the column. It is visiting data in branch ID column of branch table and branch ID column of student table and able to understand, okay, there is some data similarity as well. Data is getting repeated this way. Name similarity is also there, even though name is not matching 100%. Here we are having branch. In branch table we are having branch ID. But branch name is getting matched somehow to some extent. Let's visit the data. Okay. Data is also getting matched. So I'll suggest developer by forming this relation. This way Power BI thinks and giving suggestion. Okay. And if we verify that the connection and see the relation is good, then simply we can use this connection. We do no need to go for deleting this connection and re-establish with the other columns. Okay. Clear so far, guys?
Yes, sir.
Now, so I'm showing the relation between sales and header and sales lines. What kind of occurrences it is having? When I focus on this, on invoice number, sales header contain only 1 occurrence, and when it comes to sales lines, it will be multi-occurrence, which is nothing but star. Okay. Clear, yes? This way Power BI able to detect whatever way we have prepared our data model, okay, by discussing and understanding. Similar way, as soon as we import our data to Power BI desktop, Power BI able to understand the relation between the data. This way, it is not forming any relation between student and sales, which are completely not related at all, right? Between branch and sales lines or between branch and sales header, no relation formed because Power BI intelligent enough to understand there is no relation between branch and sales data. Here in our case, clear, guys?
Yes, sir.
Now, in our case, in a single source of retail store data, we are maintaining 2 kinds of data models, we can say, because one data model speaking about sales information, other data model is speaking about student and their branch information. Okay. Now tell me, guys, where we are having branch name in this scenario, in this data model. Where we are having branch name, guys? In branch table.
In branch table.
I'm going to Power View. Under Power View, I am populated with all the fields information, branch and student. What I do, I'll take a table visual. To the table visual, I want to see my data like what is student name and what is his branch name. Only those 2 columns I want to see. So I'm simply going to student, see here, student sheet. I'm choosing this column, student name, I'm dropping that. So student names are listed in the table. And this, as the second column, I'll choose branch name. So as soon as I drop my branch name, I'm getting a descriptive information here. I'm getting descriptive information, ABC, CSC. Whereas I have my data in this fashion, ABC 1, whereas 1 is nothing but CSC. how Power BI able to bring these description which are related to your branch ID, guys? Because in the data view, Power BI able to detect the relation between branch and student names, student tables on branch ID. So whenever I pull branch name in the report, so it will immediately check for the student ABC, and wherever ABC having ID, wherever ABC student is having his presence in student table, it will check for branch ID, and it will go to, on the basis of branch ID, and branch ID is the related column here between branch and student. It will go to the particular branch ID and it will pull to branch name in the Power BI report in this fashion. Guys, clear? Everyone clear?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Now we'll do. I'll go to my data. I'll simply select my relation between student and branch. I'll right click here. I'll delete that. It is asking confirmation whether or should do delete relationship. Yes, I'm saying yes. Now see after some time. Are we having any relation between branch and student, guys?
No.
No. Now go to your visual report which you have constructed a while ago. What is saying, guys? What is saying? Your visual can't display the visual. Why? Because
Not a much.
go to see details. Can't display the data because Power BI can't determine the relation between two or more fields. How many fields we have used to construct the table visual? 2 fields, which is student name, other one is branch name. And these 2 fields we have chosen from 2 different sources, student and branch. Whenever we are using different fields from different sources like branch and student in our case, if you are choosing fields from different sources, then those sources must be having some relationship between them. If you do not have any relationship defined between them, then Power BI unable to determine like how to form that particular visual. Getting my point, guys?
Yes.
So now how to create a relationship, guys? Again,
Go
I
to
have
manager.
to manage relationships. And in manage relationships, we are having sales line to sales header, which we haven't touched this thing at all. Our main intention is between student and branch. I'm choosing new relationship. And here I'll select a branch table
Based on
and
the
I'll
column.
select student. So it is automatically highlighting branch ID in branch table and in the branch ID in student table. And it is saying 1 2 star. From branch to student, it is 1 2 star. I'm clicking on OK. And as soon as I close this window, I'll have my relationship established back. And I can go to my Power report view. And my visual came back, the data. Because we have used branch name from one source, student name from different source, student and branch. These are 2 different sources. And they are having relationship now because we have added a manual relationship. We have deleted auto-detected one and we have added a manual developer created relationship. Even though the relationship is same on the same branch ID, but we have manually added this. That's all. There is no difference more than that. Clear, guys? Everyone clear? If we are constructing any visual or report by using different fields from different sources, always remember those sources must be having some relationship defined between them in this manner. Okay? This is the main thing that you have to understand and learn. Clear, guys?
Yes, clear.
Yes.
Everyone? Thank you. I'm going to the same sheet. I'll take a different example. So guys, this is the way I have explained you the sales information, student and branch information. Similar way, can you please quote few examples of one-to-many or many-to-one relationships? 1 or 2 examples. The real-time data.
Employee, sir.
Employee,
Company.
company. Okay.
నా టికెట్ బుకింగ్ అన్న ticket booking, railway ticket booking or bus ticket booking, like that.
One particular login can have multiple tickets. Okay.
Products and sales.
Yeah, this comes correct anyway. This is a regular example that we discuss. Okay, good. Yeah. So that kind of visualization you need to have. You need to have real-time understanding, like real-time how real-time transactions takes place. This fashion. Now, a person can contain how many other numbers?
Single, sir.
Only one.
PAN numbers,
One Anna.
Same also.
passport numbers.
Same, sir.
A single Aadhaar number can be assigned to how many persons?
Only one
Single.
person.
Only.
One person.
A PAN card can be assigned to how many people?
Only one person. It's a unique queue.
Similar way passport.
Also unique.
Now what kind of relationship that is?
1 to 1. 1 to 1.
1 to 1. So either direction, like person to Aadhaar or Aadhaar to person, it is 1 to 1. Person to PAN or PAN to person, it is 1 to 1. Person to passport or passport to person, it is 1 to 1. Clear?
Yes.
Clear, yes? Now, can we construct one such example? Similar way, meantime, you just think of many to many relationships also. Many to many also. Now, what I do? Okay. So, I'll use small data model. Don't take like too many rows. Person name. Aadhaar number. Best, we'll do one thing, guys. We'll learn things. We'll make things complex and we'll learn things easily. What I'll do? Aadhaar. I have added Aadhaar number to my student table column as a column in my student table. Okay. What I'll do? I'll simply give 1001. Whereas 111. 4 ones are Aadhaar. 4 2s are Aadhaar. 4 3s. 4 4s. 5 5s. And we'll have Aadhaar DB also, right? Aadhaar DB. In Aadhaar DB, we'll have Aadhaar and name as ABC, CDE, EFGHIG. Other created or enrolled on. This is our other databases. Enrolled on. Okay. So biometric, some flag like biometric registrations happened or not, and age information. And this postal code, something like assembly constituency. Parliament constituency, like this. Some more information will be there in the other table. Okay. So these things, okay, fine. You can leave for now. I can use something like that. Somewhere in 2020. And the 5. Hold on. 15. And hold on from 12. And of these are the rates. And biometric Just mute yourself. Just mute yourself.
బాగున్నారా అంటే
I really like that movie because of this reason. Because it's actually of muscle
mute yourself, please.
Thanks. So assembly code something like 022, 023, 020, 019, something like this. Okay. Same way we have 1, 1, 2. 3, like this. So this is other database, let's suppose. Go to go to student table and see. Let's try to compare now. So here, this other column and this other column are having single occurrences. This is other data, whereas it is a student data. Student is mapped with one single other at any point of time, and one single other is mapped with one single person at any point of time. Okay. Guys, clear? Do you need any arrows or directions to be given here? So I can. Not a problem.
Others.
So from Aadhaar DB to student table, what is the relation?
1-to-1 అన్న.
1-to-1. And from student table to Aadhaar DB?
Too many.
No, 1-to-1.
1-to-1 ఓన్లీ అన్న.
1-to-1 only. The reason is this Aadhaar 1111 will have only one occurrence in Aadhaar DB. It won't be repeated because it will be only for one person.
Both tables we have only unique values.
Unique occurrences. You have to say unique occurrences. Okay.
Occurrences.
Only one single occurrence will have. So here 1, 1. Here also 1, 1. It is 1-to-1. Okay. Student to Aadhaar DB it is 1-to-1. Now I am leaving definition part to you guys, as you know already. Okay, I am leaving definition part to you. I am not writing this definition. So now if we try to import this data in Power BI, let's see how Power BI auto detects what relation it suggests. Now we have already imported this data here. We have already imported detail store data into Power BI. Now if I have additional data added or modified in my table, now have modified existing data in terms of already imported or not. So what thing got modified, guys? In already imported data, what is the change? In the already imported data, student
We added Aadhaar column.
in the student data source, the student source, we have added Aadhaar card, Aadhaar number, and we have in the entire sheet, as the entire sheet, we have added Aadhaar table. as we have already imported this file to Power BI desktop, how to get the updated data in the file to Power BI desktop? What is the way?
By using refresh option.
Refresh.
Refresh it.
Perfect. I'm clicking on refresh. It is reconnecting and it is simply updating my data source. Power Pivot got updated with Aadhaar number, column added, and my, where is my, one second, I have a saved sheet. I have saved. Where is my Aadhaar sheet, guys? Why I'm not seeing Aadhaar sheet here? Even though I have refreshed, only 4 sheets are getting shown. Aadhaar sheet not is getting shown here because Aadhaar sheet as a source you have to select through the source. But already imported sheets, if you have any data changes, those are getting refreshed with refresh option. But Aadhaar is a sheet. It is not a column which is updated in the existing source. Aadhaar is itself is a source here. So simply what I have to do, I have to go to my data option, select Excel, select retail store. It will pop up all sheets again. So among all these sheets, which we have to select is
Other.
Aadhaar. Select Aadhaar. Select load. It will connect to our file. It will update Aadhaar sheet here. See Aadhaar sheet came. Now, where we have to go and check? We have to go to data model. Before going data model, let's discuss in our sheet itself. In the student sheet having relationship with how many sources, guys?
2.
One is with the branch through branch table, and another relation is of
Aadhaar.
Aadhaar number through Aadhaar sheet. Okay, guys. Now I'm going to my model view and see here, guys. Is there any relationship added between student and Aadhaar?
No.
So we will manage that relationship. So we have already seen how to add a relation through manage relationship. Instead of that, now I'll show you a way how to add relations through model view itself. So here what I'll do, I know on what two sources, what are the related columns. So student and Aadhaar are related. So on what basis? Aadhaar number column. So I simply select Aadhaar number column in student source. And I'll go and drop on Aadhaar number column of Aadhaar source. As soon as I drop, a relationship is formed. What is this? What is it showing us? What kind of relationship
One
it
to
has?
one.
It has?
1 to 1.
1 to 1. Because as soon as I drop Aadhaar from student number to Aadhaar student table to Aadhaar table, Aadhaar column, immediately in the background a scan has happened. Like the occurrence of Aadhaar number from Aadhaar table to student table. How many occurrences are there? So 111 is having only one occurrence. Okay, it is 1 from Aadhaar to student, it is 1 to 1. And from reverse way, from student to Aadhaar table, do we have any occurrence of any value of Aadhaar, any Aadhaar value from student table is having multi occurrence in Aadhaar DB? No.
Might be to 1, sir.
It is having only one occurrence. Because see, any single value you choose, 1, 1, 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, 5, 5, any single value you choose from student table to Aadhaar, you are having only one occurrence. That value is not getting repeated here. That is also 1 to 1 from both the sides. Clear?
Clear,
Someone
Anna.
saying many to 1. It is not many to 1, it is 1 to 1. The reason also evident, right? It is evident, right, with the data itself. 1111 is having only one repetition in student table. And whereas I have used 2 to 2 to Aadhaar number in student table, that is having only one occurrence, that is only one repetition, not more than that. So it is called 1 to 1 relationship. Clear, guys? Relation between two tables with 1 to 1. Okay. So one table can have multiple relations with other sources through 1 to 1 or 1 to many. Clear, guys? Clear with 1 to 1, everyone?
Yes. Yes, sir.
If clear, then I'll go to many to many. So I'll take RIN example here. I'll take the same 10. He's having some courses. He's studying in this branch. He's studying in this branch, fine, but he's taking few courses. And we are having few courses like this. I'll take this. Who then? Roll number. Student name. Course. 3 columns here. So before that, I'll take one more table called courses. Course ID. Course. Duration. And say course 1, course 2, course 3, course 4. Course SQL or BI. MSBI. SQL plus RBI. MSBI. How many courses we have given here, guys?
4.
4.
So we have given this way, right? 4 courses. Now tell me, guys, one student can go through multiple courses, right? One student can opt for multiple courses. I can say roll number 1, 2, 3, 4, 10 students. A, B, C, C, D, E, F. ABC opted for course 1, SQL, and also opted for course 2, same student. This is my transaction table, guys. Which student has enrolled which course. Okay. Otherwise, I'll further break up this one into 3 tables. This one. I'll remove courses from here. So I'm having student source as well. I'm having student source, I'm having courses source. So I'll go for one more resource, source, which relates student with the course. So what I will say, student roll ID number and this course ID. But tell me, guys, student number 1. When I say student number 1, what is the name of the student, guys?
ABC.
ABC, perfect. I have opted course 1. Student number 1 opted course 2. So student number 1 opted course 1. This one. And student number 2 opted for course 4. Okay, and student number 3.
Change color.
Let's give me a different color. Student number 2. And student number 3. Leaving this color. It's opted for only 2 and 3. Course number 2 and course number 3. In course number 2, nothing but this one. Course number 3, nothing but. I'll highlight this one with a different color. For now, right. Course number 3. Right, alright. Clear, guys? I have created one more source here. This way. I have created one more source. Now tell me, guys. From student to this table and courses to this table, what are the relations?
1 to many. Many to many.
See. So here student 1, roll number 1 having how many occurrences? Yes,
2, sir.
many. That is more than one, nothing but many. And course ID. These two are related. These two sources are related on course ID. These two are related on student roll number. So roll number is having multiple occurrences, whereas course is having multi occurrences in this table. Okay, getting my point, guys? Here. Guys, many to
Yes.
many. This is called many to many relationship. Okay. It's not. From student to student on the basis of roll number, what is the occurrence here? Guys? It is one too many. True or not?
Yes.
Okay. The reverse way.
Many to 1. A similar way on courses too.
One to
From
many.
courses to one to many. This one. Reverse way. When we look at student roll number to courses, this one student to courses, what kind of relationship is student to courses? Between student to courses, stable between these two columns.
Many to many.
Many to many.
Many to many. So guys, majority times we do not deal with the many to many data because we will organize our data such a way that cleanly to input into Power BI to have all our reports can be quickly created without any issue, without any data issue. So outside Power BI, while importing data to Power BI itself, we will go for organizing and segregating the data properly. Okay. So anyway, I'll show you tomorrow one real-time example of this one, the data by importing data in Power BI. So guys, you always try to understand things from the data side, data related things. You need to go for understanding like what is the key column understanding you need to have. Key columns nothing but on what basis our sources are getting related. Okay? On what basis our sources are getting related. So in case of our say retail store scenario, on what basis data sources are getting related guys? What is the basis for this?
Invoice information.
Invoice number. Invoice number was the source. And when it comes to Student and branch?
Branch ID.
Branch ID. When it comes to student and Aadhaar DB?
Aadhaar.
Aadhaar. Same thing with respect to the courses. So guys, though our majority discussion is related to relationship and understanding relationships, but it is a very important concept that everyone need to understand, because when you go to SQL, then only you will have full hands-on on the what kind of relationship and how to organize those relationships with respect to data and tables. Okay. But as majority of team is not having understanding of the SQL part, I just wanted to have this general discussion happen on this, so that you can have clear understanding what is the relation 1 to 1, 1 to many, many to 1 or many to 1. Okay. I'll just give names here. So this is student. Guys, hope you people are going through videos. I believe quality of videos is sufficient enough for you people to practice. Clear, guys? Can I hope so?
Yes, sir.
So you people can always post suggestions like clarity part or sound or any content also. You can suggest whenever you feel the thing. That's all, guys. That's all for today. Any queries around this? Any queries, guys?
Thank you, sir.
Fine, guys. Then meet you tomorrow at same time 6 p.m. Thank you all. Bye.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Anna. Bye.